So the question is, what did I learn while I was in the military? And I love this question because the answer is so much. And I think if I had to boil it down to just, a couple of things, I mean, there's the obvious ones like you're tougher than you think you are, and your limits are things that you put on yourself. They're not really limits that you can't break. If I think that I can only go this far, as I get closer and closer to that spot, I'm gonna start slowing down and saying, "Oh, I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I can do it." But if someone can push you way past this, and if you find the motivation and you don't realize it, or it's not an option, and someone makes you blow past that limit that you thought you had, then all of a sudden, what is your limit? Your limit, what you thought was your limit, was just what you put on yourself. And having someone blow you past that limit it's freeing, and it teaches you a lot about what your expectations are for yourself, and what you are, where you're slowing yourself down. But I think the number one thing that I would say I learned from the military is that kind of the veil was pulled back on anything that looks super professional, organized, anything that looks like it's too good for you to do. That organization, that thing, that whatever, is just filled with people. It's just normal folks who are doing normal things. I mean, I'm talking all the way up to like the President of the United States. It's just a normal person. There's no one that's so special that you can't do what they did. And I was lucky enough to go to Paris in 2015 to be a part of COP21, and the people that were there doing negotiating, they were just normal people who had been in extraordinary situations, but that doesn't mean that they're superhuman and you can't do that yourself. That's part of the reason why I'm trying to make a world-class classroom in here in Pine Highland. There's so much opportunity for someone to do the work, make a classroom that is the coolest classroom in the world, take a class and through hard work and trial and error and try, blow past the limits that we put on our students, and we think it has to be the way it is. And as a science teacher, I accepted all those limits. I accepted, it's just, we got to stick with the tests, and we can't do this because of these 10 reasons. And now I see it as, why are we limiting ourselves? Why are we holding it to such a low bar? And when we all can see education needs to change and improve, why aren't we all working hard to make it better and figure out what will work with our students, where they are, with the technology that we have right now, with all of the things that we could be doing, we should be. What I learned in the military was that nothing is that complicated that you can't learn it. There's no glossy organization, or there's no national or international level that isn't just filled with normal people who got there through a lot of hard work, and luck and connections and whatever else. But in my case, I don't see why I can't have the classroom of my dreams. I can't have the classroom that changes how education works, because we've been held down by our expectations, our 18th century expectations of what schools need to look like. We built this brand new fab lab, and the biggest things in the room were the whiteboards that were in the front of the room. That's fine, that's good, but it shows all the baggage that comes into a space like this. And I want to blow right by it. I want to know what's actually possible, because I pushed harder than anyone else. And so I credit my military experience for making it clear that even though, the military seems like they've all got their ducks in a row, they do not. And I'd love to tell more stories about that later. I think I'd emphasize that the limits that we put on ourselves are just that, put on ourselves, and we don't really know what our limits are until we get pushed so hard that we realize that, oh wow, that was just something that I had made up, basically. It was a guess towards what I could do or couldn't do. I don't want to limit myself as a teacher. I don't want to limit my students. And, I wouldn't say I've had a ton of success. Kids love my class, but that doesn't mean it's a great success. It just means it's fun. But why can't kids become creators of their own type? I don't see why not. Why can't we get rid of some of these standardized tests and go back to when teachers could have a passion and develop that passion and be really good at teaching this thing that they love, instead of having their schedules so packed all the time that they don't have any time for the things that they love, because they're teaching stuff that they hate, stuff that the students hate, stuff that the kids are going to forget because it was taught to them poorly, even though they might remember for the test. There's so much improvement that could be in education. I want to be a part of that solution. I credit my military experience in teaching me about myself and about the world, and just how fragile the ceilings are. So that's what I learned from my military experience. If you're new to this channel, this is, I talk about stuff like this because I'm passionate about it, and I'm passionate about helping kids become creators and learning about themselves. Check out my channel. Check out the trailer up at the top of the channel. It'll explain exactly what my class is about. I'd love to have more people come alongside and say, here's what I'm doing that's really awesome, and we can start working together. So I'd love to meet you. Bye.